This one could be a killer, of the lower leagues at least. This one is called Lower League Killer, of course. There is no image, no description, no anything on the page I got this from, except for one comment basically saying, "Hi, this was brilliant. I used it in the extreme low leagues of Ireland, and I could only get under 17s free transfers. I had €170 per week wage." Basically, it continues on. They did fantastic. They won the league only using 16 and 17-year-olds and 3 20-year-olds who were a team when I started. So apparently for this one individual, it worked very well. But we're going to test it out with our 3 teams as usual, not in the lower leagues, but of Liverpool and Aston Villa in the Premier League and our championship side of Ipswich Town. So with that said, let's jump into the Premier League and see how our teams did. Well, unfortunately, it did not work in the Premier League, at least in this save. Liverpool in 7th place. Not good. About 30 points less than usual. 79 goals, so it does have some attacking moments in it. But Aston Villa, one position up, 10 points higher, 76 goals. Schedule-wise, we start out with Aston Villa being on top of Liverpool there. They lose out in the Carabao Cup 4th round 2-3 against Everton, and then FA Cup 5th round 1-2 against Arsenal. However, they do get to a final in the Europa Conference League final, and they win against Fiorentina 2-1, so they do get a trophy at least. I admittedly am impressed that they won the Europa Conference League. 6th place is not great in the Premier League, and they lost handily in the Carabao and FA Cup, so not a great season. Squad-wise, you have 35 goals for Ollie Watkins. Very well done. 15 is the second with Diaby. Assist 20 for John McGinn is very good as well. And an average rating, you get Ollie Watkins with a 718. Switching over to Liverpool, doing a little worse in the Carabao Cup 4th round, 0-1 against Manchester City, but doing a little bit better than Aston Villa in the FA Cup, getting to the quarters, 2-3 loss against Man City. But it does look like Europe is where it is at for these two teams. Beating Barcelona 3-1 in the Europa League final. Very well done. Beating Freiburg, Bayer Leverkusen, and PSV. So again, I'm kind of shocked they won the Europa League, especially against Barcelona. But they get to the quarters of the FA Cup a little bit better. Carabao Cup not great. Premier League not great. So Liverpool squad, you can see 28 goals is the top for Salah, but Nunez also gets 24. Very well done. Assists 17 for Cody Gakpo. Interesting. 15 for Robertson and Szoboszlai. And then Luis Diaz gets 6 off the bench with a 740, but a 714 for Salah. That's insanely low. Data Hub is not looking all that great. Attacking wise, yeah, you've got numbers that are above the Premier League average, but you got some that are lower. Defensively is kind of on the board, off the board. Goals per game, a flat 2. At least it's more than the Premier League average, but 1.37 conceded for Aston Villa, 1.46 XG against. Liverpool's Data Hub looking pretty much exactly the same. A little bit better defensively, but still, I mean, you got your woes. 2.08 goals per game for Liverpool, 1.66 conceded, 1.41 XG against. The defense really failed them on this one. They let far too many in the back of the net. That is a lot more than usual. Premier League stats, Aston Villa with 1.76 points per game, Liverpool with 1.5. Definitely lower than what we usually see. Most goals, Liverpool in 3rd with 79, Aston Villa in 5th with 76. Fewest shots against, Liverpool makes the list in 6th with 379. And then most shots for, Liverpool tied for 5th with 507, 483 for Aston Villa. But now, how did it do for our championship side of Ipswich Town? I mean, I can't say it's bad. They got into the playoffs. They won the playoffs, amazingly enough, because they usually never do. But it's 5th place. 84 points is not great. 97 goals. It looks like you're close to the top. But yeah, we have definitely seen better. Schedule-wise, I kind of wanted to show this screen, but Burnley knocks them out at the Carabao Cup 3rd round 1-2. FA Cup, they make it through a bunch. They get to the quarters and lose out against Tottenham 2-3. But then they do a fantastic job in the playoffs, amazingly enough. So overall, I mean, the championship, yeah, they get promoted, which is fantastic. They actually won in the playoffs, which is fantastic. Something like I said, you rarely ever see in these saves. But still, 5th place. FA Cup, fantastic job to get to the quarters. Carabao Cup, blah. So overall, squad-wise, 25 goals for Hurst and only one in the double digits. Assist, 15 for Wes Burns. Connor Chaplin with 11. George Hurst even gets 10. Leif Davis only down with 9, though. George Hurst, though, with his 7.26. Championship stats, Ipswich in 6th with 1.71 points per game. Most goals in 1st with 103. Most tackles won in 6th with 10.45. And then most shots for in 3rd with 6.14. But let's dive into the tactic itself. A goalkeeper in defend is where we start, wingbacks on the left and the right in support, central defender in defend on the left, a ball-playing defender in defend on the right, a DM in defend, two wingers in attack, an attacking midfielder in support, and two advanced forwards in attack. Balanced mentality, in possession attacking with a standard, approach play pass into space, overlap on the left and the right, passing directness is standard, tempo is slightly higher, and mixed crosses. In transition, counter press, counter, distribute to the flanks, and out of possession, a mid-block line of engagement, a much higher defensive line, trigger press more often, and that's it. So how did it do overall for our three teams? I mean, I can't say great. Fifth place is not where Ipswich Town should be, but they got through the playoffs, so it worked to a degree. It's kind of funny how a lot of the season it didn't work at all. Their low positions in the tables and all that. Their cups didn't do all that well. I mean, quarterfinals for Ipswich is pretty good, but in the end is where it counted. The two Europa Leagues, they won those. Ipswich got into the playoffs and won that, so I guess it just needed to kind of come to fruition until the end of the season. But Liverpool and Aston Villa really not doing the greatest of jobs. I mean, really low positions in the table. They, like I said, they did win Europe, which is great, but they just needed to win a bit more. Now, in the tactic, I can see, but this is what I expect to see in a lower league tactic. So not the top four leagues or so in the professional side. But what I've always heard is when you're doing a lower league tactic, when you're doing like the really low amateur leagues, you want less instructions. You don't want to inundate them with instruction after instruction after instruction. You kind of want to say, you know what, this is your position. This is how I want you to play. Go out and do it. So this is kind of what I expect. And according to one person on the tactic page I got this from, it worked like a charm in the low Irish leagues. So try it out if you're looking at it like a City of Liverpool type of save. See how it works for you. But in this save, in the upper leagues, it didn't work all that well. But that's just one save. You could do a lot better if you took control of it yourself and did all your own changes and everything. But here, not so much. That is it for me, though. I am FM24 for the Football Manager blog channel saying thank you as always for watching. Take care and enjoy.